to show you everything that you need to put your squirrel feeder together. Speed square, highly recommended. Super fantastic tool. A glue gun, anyone will do. Lots of glue. You want to get yourself a pack of hinges. I got this at the hardware store. They come in a pack of 2, but you'll only need 1. This one is a 2-inch. I found this is the best size to use. If you have one, nail gun. I've got 1 1/4-inch nails in here, brads, and this is going to make it a little bit stronger than just with the hot glue. It's going to last a lot longer. If you don't have one, that's fine. You'll also need a 6-foot fence picket. I recommend using cedar. It's the best for outdoors, and one of these will cost you about $2.50. You'll also need some kind of a saw. You can actually use any kind of hand saw. I happen to have cordless DeWalt circular saw. I'm going to use that. You can also use a jigsaw. As I said, any kind of hand saw will work. Even a hacksaw will work. You're also going to want to get a piece of Lexan. I got like a little window pane replacement, and we're going to cut our see-through window there so you can see how full your feeder is from the front. You're going to also need a good utility knife with a sharp blade, and that's for cutting the Lexan for the window. Okay, here's how you lay out your pieces. Start with the dog-eared end, and you're going to sand all this later. But just measure out 7 inches. I found that makes the perfect flap. Just put a little mark here. Okay, now grab your speed square. Put it up against the edge of the board and actually draw the line that you're going to cut. Simple. Do your next, which is going to be, I'll do the 10-inch next. 10 inch is going to be the bottom. So I'll measure from this line, do a 10-inch little mark here. Make sure it's absolutely square. Make a mark. So there's 10. These can be approximate. If they're off a 1/4 inch or something, it doesn't matter. So next we'll do the whole back of the thing, and I found 14 inches a good size to use. So go from that line, 14 inches. Speed square. Okay. Next I'm going to measure 6 inches. And I'm going to use this upper edge because this one we're going to do an angle. So I'm going to just mark a little mark here, 6 inches. Just grab my speed square because it's easier to use. And I'll put an angle like that, right up to that mark, anywhere on the other side. Now to make the opposite side exactly the same, all we're going to do is kind of flip that idea over. So we're going to take 6 inches from the long end. So 6 inches from here. Make our mark. Make sure you can see that. We'll take the speed square. Make this the square. So you have 2 perfectly matched side pieces. Now this board is actually only about less than 3/4 of an inch, but I'm just going to eyeball it, and you want to end up with 4 square sticks. So I'm just going to plan on going a little wider and do at the very bottom of this 4 pretty even. I'm just eyeballing this. You can make them any size. These are not critical. So if you make them a little different, so what? Nobody's ever going to see it. Okay, so you end up with your 4 pieces there. Okay, to recap, you got your flap 7-inch, bottom piece 10-inch, back piece 14, 6-inch side piece, another one 6-inch, that's measuring the short edges. Then you got 4 window strips, those are about a 1/2 inch. Go ahead and cut out your picket with the saw of your choice. You can sand it, whatever you want to do, and then we'll assemble it. If you are going to be using a circular saw, there's always a problem with making straight cuts, especially on small pieces like this. There's this distance between the shoe and the blade, and it just happens that your speed square has that distance here. I don't know if that's on purpose or by accident or what, but it's another really handy way to use it. So what you want to do is, let's say this is your cut line. You want to get your speed square on the cut line, then take a piece of wood with a super straight edge, like a factory edge, and put it right up to the speed square. And that's going to be the distance that you need to get the blade to line up. It's just perfect. And here's the original board, and your 4 pieces after for the window. Mine just kept breaking off at the top when I cut them, so I'm just going to leave them like that, and I'll have 2 that are like this and 2 that are straight. I'll make like I did it on purpose. You should have had your glue gun heated up, and if not, come on back when it's heated up. When you're ready, you're going to grab the 10-inch bottom piece and the 2 sides. Just pick whichever side you want to show. It's not going to matter after a while because those squirrels chew these up. What you're going to want to do is hot glue this edge to on top of the bottom piece. Make sure it's flush back here. Make sure it's straight up and down. And just do the same with this side. Alright, now that you have your sides hot glued on, you can see it's pretty sturdy already. We're going to put the back on now, because that's really going to be, you know, where everything holds together. So put your 14-inch back piece down. Lay this with the high sides up and center this so there's even space at the top and bottom. And then hot glue that guy in place too, just like that. But when you're done with that, you should end up with something like this, so that the back extends below and above. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then you kind of have the start of the box itself right here. Next, we're going to put the lid on, and this will be your 7-inch piece with the dog ears already on it. And it just doesn't matter, like I said, what side you pick, it's going to be beat up soon enough. But you'll see the dog ears just match perfect because you cut it back 7 inches. It just lines up that way. Now you'll notice when you put the top on that you've got kind of a little gap at the top. It doesn't match exactly flush. So if it really bothers you, you can actually sand it back so you have a bevel going like this along this edge. And then it'll just fit a little bit more snugly. And what you want to do is you're going to install this hinge right up here, centered, And you want to make sure that this row with the pin is up, and that's going to set right into that crevice there. Alright, so the lid is on there pretty good. Looks nice. It's going to drive you crazy, but we'll look at that later. Now we want to make a window that fits right in here. Make your window 4 1/4 by 6, if that's what yours measures. So what I'm going to do is use this as my 6" and this is my 4 1/4". I'm going to measure it off with my speed square and just make sure everything is straight, and I'll show you how to cut it. Now we're going to do a dry fit into the box with our new window and see how that goes. That looks really good. That's going to be a perfect fit. And what we're going to do is put in our blocks to hold the window in, and it's going to be nice because you'll be able to slide it up when you want to and clean out the bottom, get rid of any shrapnel, and then you'll have a clean box again. I'm going to start with the front pieces, and I'm going to use my beveled ones that just did that themselves. First 2 pieces are going to be flush with the front of the box, and you just put one on one side and one on the other side. Go ahead and hot glue those in. With the front 2 pieces in place, I'll take this window, just let it hang out where it's going to be. Kind of lean the unit forward, and then see where your back pieces have to go. And of course, you're going to hot glue those in place too. Make sure to leave that gap for the window. With any look, you end up with something that looks like this. You got a removable window. I actually took mine and sanded the edges after I got done cutting, because there's going to be some fat bellies rubbing on top of here. And you also don't want to get your fingers stuck or cut or whatever. And beauty is, this particular configuration will hold exactly 1 bag of peanuts. Now you're also going to want to have a way to hang this thing. I would suggest at least put a centered hole right here for a nail into a tree or screw, whatever we want. And another one at the bottom for stability. To keep it quiet, I would suggest putting some felt pads here and here. They may get chewed off eventually. Like I said, they're pretty carnivorous people. But other than that, it should be good, and we'll give it a test.